Well, according to a report distributed today by the House Oversight and Accountability Committee, President Joe Biden back in 2017 received $40,000 that can be traced to a Chinese energy company linked to the Chinese Communist Party. The transaction, which also involved the president's brother and his son Hunter, stemmed from the same business deal in which Joe Biden, or what's referred to by others as the big guy, was slated to receive a 10% cut on the action. Now, the allegations contradict the then presidential candidate Biden's 2020 campaign claims that he had no business dealings with his son or his brother. And they raise questions whether his administration has compromised their ability to confront China's communist regime. Joining me now to discuss this and more is Congressman James Comer. He's the chairman of the House Oversight and Accountability Committee. He represents the 1st Congressional District of the bluegrass state of Kentucky. Chairman Comer, welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me.
So let me ask you a question. Would you know if somebody dropped $40,000 into your checking account?
Yeah, I would know. And, we all have relatives that need money. If you were going to loan them what now is $240,000, $250,000, I think you would have a pretty good idea of what they were going to do to be able to have the means to pay you back. And whether this was a loan or not, this is $40,000 we disclosed today. We disclosed $200,000 last week. Whether or not they were loans, which I do not believe they were, but Biden saying they were, and the press is going to go along with whatever Joe Biden says. Either way, the family couldn't have paid Joe Biden back had they not been involved in an influence peddling scheme. And we traced the $200,000 check back to a healthcare company in Florida that they influence peddled and said that Joe Biden could help them get unlimited capital in the Middle East. We traced this $40,000 check back to China. And that initial transaction that you see on your screen, that happened days after Hunter Biden sent that WhatsApp message threatening the Chinese operative, saying his dad was sitting right beside him, and his dad wasn't going to be happy if you didn't wire him the money. That's where all of this started. That's where it initiated with that WhatsApp message, and it ends up $40,000 in Joe Biden's pocket.
Now, you made reference to this, Chairman Comer, that the media, said, well, it's a loan. I mean, I keep hearing this. Every time you uncover new evidence, the media says, well, they don't have any evidence. This is just a witch hunt. You're just out there on this blind chase. What will it take to convince the media that the president has a problem here? He's been compromised.
The president's lied so many times to the American people. He acted like the laptop wasn't his son's, like it was Russian disinformation. He said his family never took money from China. He said that none of the money that his family received ever happened while he was vice president. He said he never met with or spoke to any of these people who sent his family money. And what we found in 7 short months is every one of those statements were lies. And with this money here, this shows that Joe Biden benefited from his family's shady financial shakedowns of foreign nationals. Whether it was a loan or not doesn't matter. Again, I don't believe it was, but either Joe Biden was paid $240,000 in a kickback, or he didn't lose $240,000 that he loaned to his brother. Either way, he's $250,000 better off because of the influence peddling scheme. So Joe Biden did know what his family was doing. He knew they were selling the Biden brand, that they were selling access. And every American should be concerned, not just because that's public corruption, but because all the countries that sent money to the Bidens are our biggest enemies around the world. And this would lead to the question whether or not Joe Biden is in fact compromised.
So let's talk about what we do know and what the American people can know with certainty. And you've already pointed to that, because the president repeatedly, going all the way back to the campaign, said he had nothing to do with it, knew nothing about his son's business deals. All of these things, all of these statements that he's made have been proven to be blatantly false. So we can say with confidence the president has lied, can we not?
Yes. Yes, he's lied multiple times. Multiple times about his knowledge and about his involvement of his family's corrupt, shady business dealings. And we're finding evidence that he's met with every one of these people, even the healthcare company that he was a part of that $200,000 check last week that we found. he had met with those executives. So he knew his brother went to him and said, if you hire me, if you pay me money, then my brother can help you get money out of the Middle East. I mean, the Middle East, for goodness sake. So, we've got a situation here where this president hasn't been honest, honest with the American people. And the media continues to turn a blind eye. And to have oversight and accountability, the media has to play a role in this. And it's just like pulling teeth to get the media to cover this. Remember, they said a month ago, they said, well, Comer's not going to be successful unless he can find that money actually went to Joe Biden. Well, we found that. 2 different checks. And now they're saying, well, what we meant to say was money that went to Joe Biden while he was vice president. And I mean, they continue to move the goalposts, but I think every American's keeping up with this, and they know that this is public corruption.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a rat, smells like a rat. I think it's a rat. Chairman Comer, thanks for joining us. We're out of time. Always great to talk to you. We're going to keep tracking this and get you back on when you find that next check. So maybe next week.
All right. We're still looking. Yeah, we're following the money.